Really did. Very exciting. All right,
If you
Sally.
guys have not gotten that game yet, I do highly recommend it.
God
Just saying.
damn it, Emmer.
Sorry.
Sally.exe. Let's begin, shall we? It
Yes.
starts. I'm a big fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog series.
Yes, you are.
Fucking shut up. Like a lot of people.
Sure. I'm sorry. Well, I guess now since they announced those couple games, I guess now the fan base has grown again. Give it a few months. I'm sorry, continue.
Hold on. My one alert box went off twice, and that was really annoying, so I'm going to get rid of it. Because apparently it is working again. Okay, alright. Sorry about that, guys. I know that was super loud there. It's like all of a sudden evanescence in the back. Alright, anyway. I narrowed down to the classic Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon shows, though, because I think the rest Sega had spawned was rat crap, each to their own.
Well, at least this writer's willing to say, hey, I personally thought that everything else was shit, but hey, if you guys like it, that's totally cool.
Each to their own.
Yes. That's not quite how the phrase usually goes, but, let's just sort of let that one go.
I was pretty sure that's... I was browsing eBay the other day. I wondered if there would be any items about my favorite character from the series, Sally Acorn.
You sad, sad bastard.
Because when I think favorite Sonic characters, the first one that comes to mind is Sally Acorn.
Second one is Silver.
Fucking... kill yourself.
And then the third one is that princess. What the hell was her name? Elise?
Okay, she is literally the last one. I'm pretty sure, alright.
Elise fucking ex-Sonic. My one true parent.
You heard it here first, folks.
Oh my god, I feel filthy saying that.
You didn't realize that people are going to show up on your R&Rs and be like, so, OTP, huh?
Probably.
Indeed, what I found was a plushie that was manufactured in Sega World of Sydney, which closed down due to the lack of visitors in 2006. Like a lot of people.
Is there any truth to that? I have no idea.
Maybe? I think Sega's had a store. I'm not sure if there was a Sydney location or if I don't know. I have no.
Anyway, moving on.
That's one thing I just don't know. Someone can confirm happily. Someone in the live chat. Feel free. Those Sally plushies were very rare, but I didn't have the money to buy her, and my parents would despise me for it.
Yes, your parents would disown you if they knew that you bought a Sally plushie on eBay.
Admittedly,
how dare you?
Admittedly, some parents might do that exact thing. It really depends.
This household is a knuckles household. We're gonna buy the right plushie, or you can fuck off and die in the dumpster.
I have no son! Just to clarify, if my own son did decide to buy a Sally Acorn plushie off eBay, I would respect his decisions in life. Just so we all know.
That honestly there, dude, just kind of sort of sounds like you are saying that and you publicly would, and secretly you'd be like, why, son? Why? You could have bought, Knack, the fucking sniper or whatever the fuck his name was. No, you had to buy Sally Acorn. What a goofy little shit you are. Anyway.
I examined the plushie for a while as the article came with pictures. This Sally even had her jacket. On it was written with a permanent marker, God. I don't really know what it meant.
Probably means that a person who bought that probably really has a
because
child on for God.
Because in addition to being a supersonic Sally fan and being someone who my parents would disown, I'm also a radical atheist, and God doesn't mean anything to me. Cut yourself on my edge, as I tip my fedora at you, milady.
Well, either that, or else the person's like a wild Christian, and then you go. And lo, John 3:16 said, "For he so loveth the earth that he gave his only begotten acorn." Anyway.
His only begotten acorn?
I was trying to work Sally's name in, and I just came up with her last name. Fuck you.
You're an idiot! Probably the initials of the child owning her before they sold her. I clicked the back button to return to the Sonic Sally search, knowing I wouldn't win the auction anyway. Only to find another article had appeared. Sonic SatAM cartoon all episodes! With the price of $1 on Instabuy. SatAM DVDs were never released where I came from. Where did you come from? Because they came out here. And this is America, so unless you're in frickin' Sri Lanka, I'm pretty sure they came out.
Well, I think it also depends on how old this fic is, because I'm not sure how old it is. Because I know that they came out now, but they might not have then. I don't know.
The one I have was released years ago. Like before Sonic.exe, so yeah. Anyway, bummer. So, as happy as I was, I wanted to rewatch the show and checked out the article. So you were happy. Like, I don't understand. Like, despite the fact that I was happy, I really wanted to rewatch the show and feel miserable about myself because SatAM kind of sucks.
Yes, it does.
The Adventures of was so much fucking better.
The good thing that came out of SatAM was that goddamn theme. That theme song was catchy as shit. It really was.
It had no description and no address where it came from. Germany, Canada, etc. It was missing. Yes, those are places that it could have come from, but you have no idea. So thank you for specifying. It was missing, and the shipping price was stated to be free. I looked up at the photo of the article. It was a blank CD. I've decided to buy it anyway. Not just for the nostalgia, but the writing was great, and I loved Robotnik in the series.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess that there was another positive was Cummings as Robotnik was amazing. He really was.
Cummings did a good job, but I hate that version of Robotnik so fucking much.
Yeah. The character kind of sucked.
He just tried so hard. It's just like every scene was just like, like, God, stop, please. Like, at least when Adventures of Robotnik was being maniacal, it was funny. Like, that was.
And plus also Long John Baldry's Robotnik in Adventures of was amazing.
That Robotnik is fucking legendary, and everyone needs to know that.
I actually kind of think that everybody does, because that version is just fucking beloved.
Well, it all started when the mail arrived. Actually, it all started before this when you told us the rest of the story, you fuck. It arrived the next morning. Oddly, it was Sunday. Actually, that is pretty odd, actually. I would seriously question that.
I actually have gotten mail on Sundays. It is very weird. But it's normally, though, like, packages. Like, should I order, like, next day or something?
To be fair, this is a package, so...
Yeah, so...
I guess it makes some level of sense.
Too weird for it to show up on. I mean, it's not normal, but, you know.
I was happy to receive the episodes and immediately put the blank CD into my laptop, starting the DVD. Sadly, the DVD didn't start, but it offered me to show the files, so I opened the folder and saw a Sally.exe application. I was confused at it being an EXE, but I started it anyway, and indeed, it was playing a SatAM episode. The episode, Hooked on Sonics, began.
God, that title.
That's actually fantastic. I don't know. The episode started out all normal, along with the intro. No blood or anything. Why are you being specific about that? Were you expecting?
Well, dude, I mean, how many of these have we fucking read where somebody bought some weird thing at, like, a yard sale or eBay or something, and all of a sudden there's, like, blood and shit, like, everywhere. So I guess it's good to start off. It's normal. There's no blood, there's no gore, there's no, come and play or any of that shit. It's just hooked on Sonics.
But the
God,
sad thing was that my computer blue screen when the kissing scene of Sonic and Sally started. When Sally walks over to Sonic and kisses his cheek, he calls her a kiss not so good and grants her a better one, and it was so cute too, and then I usually like to fap to that part, but I couldn't because my computer crashed. It was really lame because I was just stuck there with massive blue balls and this really tiny boner, and I didn't really know what to do with it, so I had to quickly turn on my computer and go find some actual Sonic porn, because that's usually what I'm into, and I couldn't even go back to watch the episode after that. It was just really, really frustrating, and I wish the seller of the CD had actually clarified this wasn't in very good shape.
Wow, we have so flown off track. I would just like to stress for everybody that he completely left the script after the fucking words, and it was so cute too. I would just like to stress this. The rest of that was all from his warped mind. It was funny though.
I make no apologies. The computer rebooted and I took out the CD as I thought it malfunctioned and threw it away. You're not even going to try to clean it, or you just threw it away? Like, it could... Fuck. I don't even understand how that works.
I have a bigger question about this. Why the fuck buy this thing on eBay for $1 when I can almost guarantee you can get the entire series on YouTube at this point?
Because he's stupid? I mean...
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to tell you. I could have asked the person to give me my money back, but he can keep the $1 I gave him. I mean, it's just $1.
Makes sense to me. It's just $1.
I continued to normally browse the internet. Definitely not looking at Sonic porn. Speak to friends on Skype and all. Definitely not suspicious. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. Everything's normal. Go away, Mom! Nothing was wrong until when I was watching a random YouTube video that definitely wasn't about Sonic or Sally or anything! My cursor. The white arrow, in case you didn't know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, because I didn't know what he was talking about. You know, that could have meant anything.
I am a fucking dead-eyed fucking simpleton who has been sitting at a computer for 30 seconds, didn't know what the hell a cursor was.
Started to completely spaz out. I disconnected my mouse, but the cursor continued to thrash around the screen. I even deactivated my touchpad, and it continued. Suddenly, it came to a stop, and I carried on, ignoring what had happened. Soon, I found myself downloading a ROM for Sonic the Hedgehog. You fucking pleb. Fun game. Thank you. Like... Why is he downloading a ROM specifically for the original Sonic? Like, if he was that big a fan, he'd already have it.
I was about to say, well, unless maybe he wanted to try to find, like, I don't know, like the Game Gear version or something?
Or in any of the other 18 re-releases like they've had of that fucking game. I mean, it's not really, I mean, that's... Never mind, whatever floats his boat. Maybe his Genesis broke, or maybe he bought one for $1 and then threw it away because it didn't work.
Or perhaps maybe, even though he's like a big fan, maybe he started with Sonic 2, never played the first one?
Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. As soon as it had downloaded, I started up my emulator and begun the game in windowed mode. But oddly, the complete screen went black. I shrugged it off and waited for the game to start. The familiar Sega jingle didn't sound. Well, it did.
That wasn't in the first game, was it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I could have sworn that was in the second game first. Never mind. Okay, continue.
Well, it did. You just said it didn't. Did it? Or didn't it? You can't have both. And you need to know that.
Did, but it was slowed down.
But it was slowed down so much it sounded demonic. And it gave...
Sega.
So it's like the beginning of the Jurassic Park game where the T-Rex says Sega.
Kinda.
That was great, by the way. I love it when the T-Rex does that. It's my favorite thing ever about that game. And it gave me a cringe.
The whole fucking fic is giving me a cringe.
Everything gives me a cringe. The background remained black, And Sonic didn't run past the logo. It faded to black. So it was black and faded to black. Everything's black. There's
It
just
faded in. Well, you see, and it
There's
faded
just-
into a darker black.
There's so much darkness. And some text appeared. I first thought it was a red font, but it looked like it was scratched into my computer screen. Up for round 2? I blinked and flinched as the main screen came on. The sky was a dark gray, and the clouds looked dull and black, like right before a thunderstorm, only a little edgier, because black. The mountains were decayed, and so was the logo. It even looked partially rusted. I was amazed at the pixely detail, and it also scared me. Sega 1991 was now replaced with Sega 666, and
Praise be to Sonic.
and the water was a bloody red. The familiar music wasn't played either. It was just a 60-bit mess of sounds. The demonic Sega occasionally mixed in. Instead of Sonic showing up, 2 characters appeared next to the logo, Tails and Knuckles. The sight of them terrified even more. Tails' eyes were black, and they were bleeding!
Yes, because the most terrifying thing ever is just Tails and Knuckles walking into shot. It just fills me with just fright.
His
every
fur
single night.
had become a dull gray/black as well, and he had an expression of anguish on his face. Knuckles looked far worse. His red fur had darkened to a reddish gray. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding like Tails, and he had a look of sadness on his face. Ugh! Cut yourself on all this edge, you guys!
And a look of sadness on his face.
It's
His
just so-
dreadlocks are dripping with blood. He has this look of sadness on his face. I am just picturing Knuckles going, "There was a horrible accident, guys."
How could
remember
this
seeing this
happen
huge
to
pile
me? I've made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as
I
I'm
honestly am
fading
just picturing
away.
Knuckles just walking out of a massive fucking pile up, like blood like dripping out of his dreads. He's like, "Guys,
I'm sick of this
I got into
life.
this car wreck and rouge is all over my hair."
I just want to scream. How could this happen to me? Okay, I'll stop
Just
that.
then,
Just then, I noticed a new character pop up out of the middle of the logo. A pink, bubbly little hedgehog poked her head out. At first she was smiling, but then frowned at what was around her. She looked confused and nervous, like she didn't really know what was going on. Amy Rose, I thought. What is this all about? Curiosity drove me to press enter. A short, yet loud, static noise sounded and the screen faded. I wish I hadn't done so. Kyle didn't want to play with me. The writing appeared again. What a shame, but I can play with you. Right?
oh my god.
The demonic...
Exactly how much fucking shit did Kyle happen to get into?
Yeah,
these
seriously,
times?
Kyle sounds like a problem child to me. Like, really, it sounds like... At this point, I'm convinced he asked for this. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. The demonic Sega jingle sounded again, as for a split second, an image flashed. It disappeared too fast, so I couldn't make it out. But I could swear I saw a red and black Sonic, so you saw Shadow.
I was about to say.
With black and red eyes, so you saw Shadow.
With black and red eyes.
I am the ultimate life form. I almost felt them pierce me, and that moment made me jump. It didn't begin in Green Hill Zone Act 1, though. I wish it did. Instead, the title card read, "Not Perfect Act 1. The game begun." The ground looked like normal Green Hill Zone, but the background was pitch black. Amy stood normally where Sonic would be in the original game. Surprisingly, that was a well-made sprite. It wasn't her classic self, but her current self. It looked official, even. On the opposing side of the screen where Amy was at, there was a large silver ring. In front of the ring stood a sprite of Sonic with a smile on his face. The animation of Amy standing there was that she stared forward with a lovey-dovey expressions. Christ, it always scares the crap out of me.
What was
My stream makes a loud noise every time someone follows me. Thank you, person!
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay. I actually just sort of thought that was you reacting to the firework that just went off outside.
Oh, okay, no.
It's kind of loud. So anyway,
Man, Wisconsin's getting started early.
of course we do.
The screen
Shit
said there was
has been
leftover
going
rain.
on for like a week and a half now.
Lovey-dovey expressions as hearts came from her head here and there. You should probably have that looked at by a doctor. It's usually not normal. Hearts coming out of your head. I guess I should head to Sonic, I thought, as I moved Amy towards Sonic, but Sonic ran away and jumped into the ring. I made Amy leap right after him. The level teleported me to one of the stages where you can get a Chaos Emerald. The background was pink with love hearts all over. It looked so cute, but I was distracted by having 4 red/white colored spheres to jump on, and I've tried to balance Amy on top of it as she desperately tried to keep onto the spheres, but my control slipped and Amy fell. I fell into a wall of gold spheres. Just as I thought I'd teleport back, a loud shriek sounded, and the image of this demonic Sonic continued to flash over the screen. The screen completely spazzed out and I heard shrieks. Loud shrieks from what I could swear it was Amy Rose herself. I kept hearing, "No, no!" and loud cries of agony and pain which abruptly ended with more statics for a split moment with the screen cut to black. Soon, the title screen appeared again. Knuckles and Tails were missing, but instead Amy appeared. She was smiling her usual cute smile, but her body had holes. Not bleeding holes or bullet holes, just holes that pierced her body all over. Her colors faded into a dull black and white. Even her eyes looked oddly disfigured. This scared me so much my entire big body began to itch. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been scared to the point of my body itching.
God, I'm so fucking scared. Ah! Itchy! Fuck! I scratched myself over and over as I watched a new character appear. He's just sitting there scratching himself. Like, what the fuck? Stop playing with yourself! God damn it! I frowned upon seeing Cream, who had a sheer terrified expression and huddled against the logo for comfort. Poor Cream. I wanted to quit the game, but as if forced, I hit start again and the screen faded.
How the fuck did it force?
You could have...
You can shut this shit off at any time, dude.
Literally anybody can walk away at any point. I'm just saying. You just don't do that. You're making a bad... You're making bad decisions and blaming the haunted game for your bad decisions. And you need to know that.
Kind and Fair, Act 1.
Kind and Fair, Act 1. The stage was blank now, and the background music was a drowned-sounding, slower version of the Green Hill Zone. It nearly made me gag, but something forced me to play. Yeah, when I hear the Green Hill Zone theme, my first thought is...
Well, that honestly just because I'm so sick of fucking hearing it everywhere. God damn.
But something forced me to play. I was forced! This game forced itself upon me!
I was being game raped, damn it.
The stage began, and Scream's sprite was, like Amy's, very well done. The environment was childish. It looked like a cute cutout. In front of Cream was the TV box that gave you higher speed. I made Cream crouch down and do a spin dash, and I dashed ahead, crashing the box. The level didn't change. Well, yeah, it's just a fucking speed box, you gimped-hard. The ground was a solid platform, and it seemed that Cream was going faster, 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 and she crashed. More boxes, and more, and more. I noticed the music got completely out of sync, which scared me. Suddenly, Cream crashed into a wall of spikes. A loud splat sounded, which didn't even sound like it would belong in a 16-bit game. Poor Cream was torn to shreds.
Fucking level ever.
Wow.
Just spin dash into a shitload of boxes and then right into some spikes.
That's some I wanna be the guy bullshit right there is what that is.
Poor Cream was torn to shreds.
Torn to shreds. Blood dripped from the spikes and the bloodied rabbit as the background slowly began to melt in front of my eyes. The image flashed again and soon the title screen appeared. As expected, I was back on the title screen and Cream appeared with Amy. She did look scared, but her other eye was... How do I put it? I don't know. How do you put it? You're writing the fucking story! Droopy and dead and bled a black goo. She should probably have that checked. Her ears were over her face now instead of the back of her head, so she's...
But how the hell do you see her eyes?
So she's super emo Cream. Her color scheme changed from brown and orange to a very, very dark purple and red. See, she is. She's ebony. She's gonna go write some fucking My Immortal. Listen to some Grende. Her dress was a dull gray. Time for the third character. What? You sound excited. Like you're enjoying this. This is why you won't stop. You sick fuck. And God, did I want to cry and weep when I saw Sally Acorn pup out of that goddamn logo, putting on her innocent smile as she waved towards me, like she didn't know what torture would happen to her. The game was so terrifying, and yet so fascinating, but I wanted to stop real bad, but my hand wouldn't budge. So you're just a sick fuck. Like that's what we're establishing, is that you're an asshole.
Yeah, is that this guy just really, really gets off on watching animals getting tortured.
Yeah, like that's all I got to say to him. Like, no, there's no amount of justification that could ever explain this. Like, you're just an ass. I even started shaking. I wanted to reach for the power button, turn the darn thing off, but my hand just wouldn't move, and before I knew it, I already hit start and the screen faded. Blank Act 9. Like, it's seriously just a blank line. There's no name.
Yeah, blank Act 9.
It said, a sad, dull melody played in the background as the silhouette of the ground and a sprite silhouette that resembled Sally appeared in front of a background that consisted of the whole group. Amy, Cream, Knuckles, Tails, and Robotnik appeared, all in their tortured forms. God, it's so fucking edgy!
Yeah.
With a saddened expression. How could this happen to us? Okay. It also had Sonic, but in a nearly unrecognizable way. He had a wide grin on his face, with razor-sharp teeth. He had black eyes, with red dots for pupils, which were bleeding. It looked like he would reach out to the silhouette in front of him. I tried to move. Sally, get her out of there! But each wall wouldn't budge, and Sally would do a pushing animation. I stopped in the middle as, to my horror, the stage began to shrink and the black started to close in on Sally. I tried moving her again, but the walls wouldn't budge or move. I walked Sally back to the middle as the walls closed in behind her. Or in on her, whatever. She crouched down before she completely disappeared in the black. Splat! Yeah, when you say splat, like, it sounds more comical than I think you're shooting for.
It does, yes.
Like...
Speaking, this is kind of off topic. Did you ever play a board game as a kid called Splat?
No.
Oh, dude, I used to have that game. It was so much fun. So each player was given like a can of like Play-Doh.
This is quite a segue, by the way. You do realize that, right?
This is, yeah.
Okay.
I'm working off the Splat thing. Just give me a second.
All right, I just thought you should know.
Oh yeah, I know. So each player was given like a can of Play-Doh, and you were given molds for bugs. Like little friggin' like round like movers with bugs on. You had to make your movers out of Play-Doh, and every like turn or two turns, something like that, somebody would have to roll a die, and they would like move this hand down the board, and it would jump so many spaces. And if it landed on one of the players, it would squish the player's bug, and there was like a mold at the bottom of the hand that would turn it into this little thing which just simply said Splat. And you could then skip those spaces. The object was to be the first to get 4 bugs to the end of the board. It was really fun. That just sort of popped into my head when I saw the word Splat. I'm sorry, I just wanted to share that.
That had literally nothing to do with
nothing
anything.
At all.
Okay.
Still, it was just a fun little story.
The red writing...
honestly, to your little segue earlier about Sonic porn. Let's just... Yeah.
That's fair.
We both You see, we both had to come off the track at some point.
The red writing appeared on the screen again, only it was dripping like blood, and it was crooked. Sonic, my love. Suddenly, a familiar scene faded in. I recognized it immediately. Sonic Saturn was playing from where the CD cut off. It had a reddish shade, and Sonic had these black, bleeding, demonic eyes. God damn it, watch out, Emmer, it's X! Ah! Sally looked...
Oh, the edge.
Sally looked even worse, at least to me. Her eyes were missing. It was like they were taken out and Sally's skull had been sewed closed again. Blood was running from her wound. It didn't look Photoshop. It was actually animated. So it was...
Kind of Photoshop.
This fucking idiot. Sonic pulled Sally over like in the show, only tentacle-like.
So this scene was outsourced to Japan, I see.
Things bursted out of their mouths and locked, making disgusting slurping noises. I could even see them bulge in Sally's throat. Are you just writing, like, your dream Sonic porn at this point? Because, like, that's what this is starting to go towards. And I think
this is getting a little bit weird.
And I think you need to stop. And that's what I'm going to tell you, from as my personal advice to you, that you might have a problem. You need to get looked at. Worst thing was that they even looked like they were enjoying it, and for a moment I think I was too. See this motherfucker?
Wow.
I was joking earlier when I said this dude was into Sonic porn, but like obviously he totally is. Worst thing was that they even looked like they were enjoying it. I could see the corrupted Tails and Knuckles in the background too. Sonic pulled away. So, not bad, Sally simply replied. I gagged and looked away from the screen. Out of the corner, I noticed something on my bed. On my bed was the Sally doll I saw on eBay, with its eyes missing.
And the next day, his parents disowned him. This is a Knuckles household, damn it.
That's the end. That's it. That's the end of the story.
Yeah. That's it. So, I think out of all of the Sonic.exe fics, I can say this one's the shortest.
It's basically just the first one with a Sally coat of paint.
Yeah.
And more implied masturbation.
Well, that though was more heavily implied by you. But yeah, I mean...
I don't think it was all me. Especially towards the end there.
Well, towards the end, I'll say yeah. You know, it's like, well, and even I was getting into it. It's like, holy shit, dude. And I'm just wondering... I mean, I totally understand that this thing here is a troll fic. I'm not going to hide that fact. In fact, we actually are reading this off of trollpasta.wikia.com. So it's, this honestly isn't some serious thing, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Just what the hell?
So since
well, that was